In today's episode of Transformation in a Crisis, we'll have Ryan Egnos, an executive director at Apex, and he'll be chatting to Ebrahim Kajee, director of Save Group and Save Hyper, the largest independent retailer in Pietermaritzburg.
How did you get into the business, and what does retailing mean to you?
Ryan, I did my articles at a firm in Pietermaritzburg, and after completing that articles in 2004, I was presented with the opportunity to join the family business, and it was a dream come true because I always loved retail from a young age, and it's something that has always attracted me. So retail has been a passion of mine, and the ability to interact with customers, suppliers, and form these key relationships and special bonds over a period of time is something that always is special to me and means a lot. And that's what I love about retail. It's not just buying and selling products as people would think it is. It's more than that, And I always liken retail to a theater where if the guy that's in charge is like the main actor trying to put it all together, and you get this chance to it's like a performance, you know what I'm saying? And a little story goes back, and when I remember as a student, I was doing my BCom and my honors, I started a little business where I used to buy product from various people and sell that on to customers and stores in and around Pietermaritzburg and KZN. And that little business was in a company. And then when I joined the family business, my uncle said, look, why don't you bring the business across? And then I incorporated into the Save group of companies. And today that company is, a successful business. We sell to Edcon, Mr. Price Sport, Jet. There's various retailers in and around South Africa that we sell to, all making clothes in China and bring it into South Africa and sell. We've even started a local part of that business where we manufacture locally and grow, support local business. And now we do pretty well with that. And that business is a multi-million rand business. And it started off when I was at university. So that's my passion for retail. We just love it.
That's an awesome anecdote. And so I'd just like to delve into a little bit deeper there. What you mentioned was it sounds like your suppliers, your staff, and your customers are more than just those titles, but rather partners to you. Maybe you can expand on that and incorporate some of the lessons that you have learned in business and more specifically retail.
Some of the lessons that I've learned, firstly, business is not for the faint-hearted, You got to make decisions, and not all the decisions are correct. You get most of them wrong, and you hope to get them wrong, and then you learn from that, and then you get it right the next time. Because if you get everything right, then you're not taking enough risk, So you got to take risk to make sure that it all works. And that's how you become a successful business, I think. It's hard work, but also you need what you said there is my staff mean a lot. So for it to be a successful business, you require good support and a good management team. And without good people, nothing can be done. It's something that we've learned over a period of time that you got to trust your staff to make those decisions, and you got to back them, even whether it's right or wrong, and let them learn and let them grow into a space where they're confident enough to run your business for you. So we're fortunate enough to have a great management team at Save, people who value the business and would treat it as their own. And that's why we are what we are today. It's with the people that we have.
Unbelievable. I couldn't agree at that point more. Staff really do make the business into what it is, and the culture evolves from there. So talking about culture and evolution, tell me, how has COVID-19 affected your business?
Yeah, interesting question or interesting point there. COVID-19 has brought about many challenges to our business. We have had to close many of our departments. Although we're a supermarket and a hyperstore, we sell a lot of appliances. We have a clothing department. So with COVID-19, we had to close up these departments. We even took the decision of closing our hot foods department, although many major retailers continued to operate with their hot foods department. And the reason we chose to close the hot foods department, we just felt that was the right thing to do. It was the moral thing to do. The takeaways and restaurants in South Africa were all forced to close. Many of these smaller takeaways and restaurants support our business, and they shop daily at our store. So I felt it was totally wrong and irresponsible for me to open the hot foods department while my customers were forced to close their businesses. So it wasn't the right thing to do, I felt. I know there's this big debate going on in South Africa where people feel that sanity should prevail and supermarkets should be allowed to sell hot foods. Yeah, we could look at it that way. But also, I think there's another side or a flip side to it. And you got to support the country as a whole, and not what I want to do from a business or an economic point of view, but rather what's the right thing to do. It's not about me or I, it's about what the country needs, I think. And that's why we've chose to close our hot foods department. So COVID-19 has taught us different things. We've had to limit the number of customers in our store, although it's not a government regulation, but we have a massive store, 8,000 square meters, and there's various juries out there as to how many people we are allowed in the store. And currently the local authorities in Pietermaritzburg have restricted us to 50 people only. And we have lower foot traffic, obviously, now with that, people in the store at any given time. We've got less departments to trade with. So our turnover has taken a massive downturn, but we're managing to deal with it. And so COVID-19 has taught us to be different and come up with different ideas and understand the business differently,
One thing that I'm definitely starting to get a sense of as you talk is your focus on community and putting others ahead of just the business. It's not completely about the business, but more about the community that you serve, which is awesome to hear. So tell me, with these points that you've mentioned, do you see these transformations being sustained into the future? Do you see a hybrid approach? How do you think post the crisis we will come out and say we'll operate?
We need to be more agile and understand our customers better. I think that's key. And a big problem with us going into this future and understanding what to do, the big problem in South Africa is our technology is a bit behind, I think, and we can't seem to find solutions to meet our customer expectations as quickly enough as our foreign counterparts do. So I think going forward, we all need to look into some way of finding better ways to deal with our customer expectations, whether it's click and collect for customers or finding other ideas of how to serve the customer's needs. It's going to be challenging and something that, we're trying to apply our minds to, but we still haven't got the right answer to it. And I don't think anyone has, for that matter.
Technology, there's no doubt, is going to be a huge part of it going forward. And you did say that there's a long way to go, but maybe you can expand on some of the technologies that you're currently employing and the use thereof.
What we're doing is, we think internet shopping will increase a bit quickly with certain customers. However, the supermarket or the range of goods that have become available on the internet for us to sell would be the limiting factor. So customers, I don't know whether we'll be able to put, like we currently carry 40,000 different SKUs of products. I mean, do we put all 40,000 products on the internet? How do we sell it to the customer? So customers are strange, and as much as they hate the supermarket, they love coming to a supermarket. I think the smell of the hot bread, they see the chicken, then they make the buy. So a lot of it is impulsive buys, as opposed to we're going to the supermarket to buy chicken or we're going to buy bread. So you'll walk maybe in the chocolate line and I need a Cadbury whole nut slab for tonight, So as much as we say technology, we're going to go into this internet shopping, there are going to be these challenges of how we get the customers to adapt to it and make those purchases online and change their way of shopping.
Do you think that bundling of products into what you guys see will aid you in pushing forward into online shopping, so you kind of make the basket choice for consumers?
I don't know, Brian, whether that will work, because customers, you tell them, why don't you buy this, this, and this as a package? I understand, but they say, no, but we don't need that, so we don't want that today, and we want this one. And there's so many product variations or brand variations. Like if you just take Nando's sauce, there's so many different hot and peri-peri and mild. So it's different and difficult. What do you box in there? The variants are different. Some like a white soap, some like a pink soap. It's so many variations. So I think if people are willing to change and adapt and accept choices being made on their behalf, it might change, but I don't think so. I really think the masses in South Africa are such that they would still want to come to pick their own groceries and do their own shopping rather than shopping online. There will be that higher LSM, the higher income earner, will maybe allow that choice to be made and doesn't really care what handy Andy he gets. It's just a cleaning detergent. It's a grudge purchase. He'll allow that to be made for him. It's fine. But I think by and large, people will want to still go into a store and shop. It's unlike you buying a fridge online, which is quite easy because a fridge is a fridge, and they know what they're buying and they know the products and they know they want a Samsung fridge, a single door, and there's very limited products available. Or I need a TV, it's ultra high definition, smart, and I want it 55 or 65 inch. And yeah, so the choices are far more narrow and it's more easier to make in appliances and things like that rather than in groceries.
So still sticking with or moving slightly back to the theme of technology, we see you've launched WhatsApp for Business. Maybe you can walk us through some of the user journey and the thinking there and how that is helping clients to engage with the Save brand.
So for us to communicate with customers in a better way and deliver that these are the specials rather than the print media that we use. So the print media, generally your adverts are restricted, when you can go out, how often you can go out. But with WhatsApp for Business, you can choose your day when you want to advertise. You can send out specials as often as you want and start engaging with your customers on a one-on-one basis and know them and begin to understand what they want. So, one of the big common threads we noticed on the WhatsApp for Business at the moment, the feedback is, when are you doing online deliveries? When are you doing online deliveries? So although we say the service is not available, but then you start engaging with that customer and you ask them, okay, what would you like to purchase online? And then you start understanding what your customer wants. And then you decide or design something based on what the requirements of your customers are, as opposed to shooting in the dark and we try to make those decisions for our customers. So I think WhatsApp for Business is an amazing tool if used correctly, and it allows us to understand our customers better and be on point with them on a more regular basis, I think. Where print media didn't allow that. Print media was you just print and it's a hit and run. If the newspaper gets dropped off at your door, you hope for it, and then you know whether the customer is going to open it and read it. Whereas WhatsApp for Business, you know exactly whether you got the engagement or not, how many hits you're getting, how many people are looking at it, etc., etc. So it's a much better tool. It's more measurable and it's far more defined.
Obviously, in your point of sale system, you'll be capturing huge volumes of data and using that to analyze it. But based on what you said to me, it sounds like WhatsApp for Business is offering you further data to this with which to analyze. Would you say that's accurate and allowing you to get a more holistic view of your consumers?
It's exactly that. So it's allowed us to understand our customer, as I said, and it gives you that whole approach. It's exactly what you're saying. That's what WhatsApp for Business does. So yeah, it's how you use the data. So you got all this data, but you got to mine the data and start using the data correctly. So WhatsApp for Business does allow you that tool. Quite right.
Absolutely. Awesome. So these are great insights. I'd just like to move on to the theme of now getting you to look in your crystal ball. Moving forward with COVID and as we come out of it as a country, what would your advice to not only your executive team at Save be, but to retail as a whole, which could also include both customers, suppliers, and your staff, or as you like to put it, partners?
That's a very interesting question, Ryan. I wish I had a crystal ball to answer that. Every day is different. Every day is a different challenge, and every day poses something new to me, trying to figure out what's going on and how to go forward in this thing. So I don't think anyone knows the answer to that, to be honest. We can all speculate. You hear various scenarios and people coming with various theories about what's going to happen and how it's going to unfold. So this COVID-19 has disrupted the world. It's not isolated just to South Africa or just to us in Pietermaritzburg. It's the whole world's affected by it. And it's how each one deals with it. And we can see from the various experiences of what's happening throughout the world, how it's changing every day. So you go into lockdown, you come out of lockdown, and then the virus comes back if you don't do it properly. That's happened now in Singapore, in Japan. These are all first world countries. We as a third world country in Africa, I think our president has done an amazing job how he's balanced the economy together with the health system, and he's put health before the economy, and that's amazing. I mean, I was listening to a very interesting thing yesterday where the governor of New York was speaking, and he said something along the lines. The reporter kept saying, "Yeah, but the economy is closing and this is closing," and he said, "So you ask a person, what do you want? Do you want what this virus has, which is death, or you want the economy to work? What's worse than death?" You know what I'm saying? So that's the answer to that question. I think this virus, the ultimate result is death. So we need to understand health is before the economy of the country, and we need to appreciate that, and we need to respect that. And hopefully this dreaded virus will find an antidote, and it will get better, and the future looks to hold something better for the future for all of us. And we all got to work together, and it's not an I thing, or it's not something that's isolated for one person. You can't be selfish, and you got to think of the greater economy, the greater society as a whole, and do what's going to benefit for everyone, because that's what this virus is about. It's not about you individually, it's about what you do that will affect others. I think that's the message.
A clear theme that's come out of this discussion has definitely been around SAVE's flexibility, putting customers, staff, suppliers first, and as you were referring to the health side, more importantly. Can you maybe just touch on one or two other areas that SAVE is investing back into the communities?
We've started various different initiatives in and around Pietermaritzburg with various organizations, NGOs especially. So there are various local NGOs. The Gift of the Givers is a Pietermaritzburg-based organization, which, assists countrywide now in this virus. And there are various other organizations similar to that in Pietermaritzburg where we offer support financially. So we give amounts of money, and also we give huge amounts of time to it, where we give our trucks, our staff to assist, and we supply hampers to them, groceries to them. And we're getting involved quite actively in all of these things. So we're trying our very best to make a difference, especially to the local community, by ensuring that food like bread and stuff is delivered daily to various areas in and around Pietermaritzburg, and trying to keep the masses with food, because I think food is essential. If people are hungry, then that's a problem. And currently, with all the various bureaucratic decisions, and it takes time for all of that to filter down, So people, by the time the food hampers do get delivered and stuff, it's going to take time. So we have tried to assist as the best we can by getting things done with what we can do.
Incredible, and that's very commendable. As I've said many times throughout this discussion, it is clear how SAVE partners with communities, staff, and the work. So it's incredible to hear coming from you just what you guys are doing. So well done on that. Thank you very much for your time, Ebrahim. It's been very enjoyable. I've loved learning about the flexibility of the SAVE model, partnering with people rather than seeing them in categories, and serving your community. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you.